The central government is moving a bill to ban private cryptocurrencies. This is the second attempt to bring a bill in the House to ban all private cryptocurrencies. It comes after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's caution on cryptocurrency falling into the wrong hands as it can spoil the youth. Now, what does this bill say? And is this truly a ban on private cryptocurrencies? IndiaTech.org's CEO Ramesh Kailasam gives us a quick insight.
Read it in, there are 2-3 ways of actually reading the same language which is currently there in the context of what has been proposed. One is, of course, that we have always been saying that cryptocurrencies should not be given currency status, which is how all the democratic and progressive geographies have done. So one way of reading that could be to say private cryptocurrencies are banned as currencies, which is ideally the way to define it, which means that now you can give them some other status, and which also means that use case scenarios of anybody wanting to use crypto as a means of equivalent to currency is now stopped. I mean, that's one way of reading it. The second way of reading it is private cryptocurrencies, virtual private cryptocurrencies will not be allowed, can also mean that, and this is part of our recommendations, to say that those which make a particular cut and which are open to access, the open ledger concept, which gives a trail when required by law enforcement, could make the cut, which also goes on to that fact which I've been explaining, that I mean, there are thousands of cryptocurrencies that exist, but only 150 to 200 or actually trade in Indian exchanges because they go through a filtration process. The government might come back and say, okay, let's work out. So all exchanges, by the way, follow a step-by-step mechanism on how to let a particular coin or currency crypto asset in. And therefore, government would turn back and say, let's devise a mechanism where if you qualify on these parameters, then you're allowed to trade, otherwise you're not. Which also then defines out on if you don't make the criteria, then you're banned. If you make the criteria, then you're allowed. So there are multiple ways to read the same thing. Since no regulation or draft bill has come out, we have not seen the fine print. So pretty early days to say whether it is a regulation or a ban.
So should the players in the cryptocurrency space exercise caution? IndiaTech.org's Ramesh Kailasam tells us that some must, while some others need worry, while some others need not worry too much.
Well, I would say that in terms of the developer community and the innovation community, obviously they can continue to do stuff, and that is the presumption that the government will be large-hearted to allow that. As far as the investor community and the trading community and the commercial side of it is concerned, where you're looking purely at crypto as a similar to a commodity stock or a gold, that's the part which will see heavier regulation because of the scope and nature and manner in which the regulator has concerns around, I mean, whether it is the travel rule or for that matter, if you look at the FEMA or AML and CFT and so on and so forth, where obviously it will be not just India. In fact, if you look at the Prime Minister's statement, he said we need to build a group of all democratic countries. And if you look at countries like Australia, Canada, US, UK, all of them, Japan, South Korea, all of them have come with some regulation or the other. Correct. And I'm presuming he is referring to those countries, all of them joining hands and creating a framework, because this product has a capability to transcend borders for misuse. Absolutely. And if such a misuse happens, you need to have collaborative mechanisms.
Listen to the complete podcast in the link mentioned below.